Hi guys, it's Nora. I don't, admit to that being my name very often, but I thought, since that was pretty much 100% my clown persona, I'd better fess up and make a follow-up to it, cause, oh man, that accent. I tried. She's beautiful, but I've got this philosophy on unlearning that instead of taking it slow and doing it step at a time, we might get somewhere faster by putting on the gas first and then learning to steer. So that's my approach to becoming a performer currently, and I hope that nobody minds an occasional 8-minute monologue in an undercooked southern accent. I've been working on the costume and the makeup for a while though. Main costume element was missing, but then this, I don't know where it came from, but it was perfect. So, Providence. Thank Providence for that only. And, here I had something else to recite, only not in the spirit of a clown persona, but a more sincere one. It's one of the last things I got down. Well, not one of the last things, but anyway, I got it down while I was still prescribed Adderall, so it's kind of lengthy, which I like. I like being able to record my thoughts for more than a sneeze at a time. Starts off with it's Rafe's journal, but then it's written in where we switch if you listen enough. Beautiful storm and the sky grows dark. Beautiful storm and the sky grows dark. I no longer ache to be soaked in it, for the glass-framed visions of the fury of the wind through the trees is deeper and more ancient than any soul my soul could express. We're taking two on this. Beautiful storm and the sky grows dark. I no longer ache to be soaked in it, for the glass-framed vision of the fury of the wind through the trees is deeper and more ancient than any my soul could express. The man across the hall is in some turmoil, the chronicle is chronically misunderstood. I consider ungently inviting a neighboring ego into the construction of my journal, as we are not, as gives and takes, and victories break hearts wholly at calm in the weather. Do we continue to believe in those who have passed us by into new states of mind? Is the torment, the disturbing of some neurological grave therein? Claims the familiar stranger next door of twisted smile that we are in the right to disentomb. Many religions of old would agree that there is indeed a time for the dead to rise. A nurse bustles through. Cohabitation. I complain of my gray cotton rags while they are uniformed in paper blue. No war fought here that I can see except in raised voices and needles pierced flesh. We are for a group home, and we fear nothing more than the scorn of the dominant generation. Will they bully, mock my having landed there at so young an age? Some of them. Will they be wise, open to my plight, pleased by my energy? Some of them. Something has turned in me, from rat-scratching claustrophobia to gratitude and calm. A pillowcase graces my desk space to store my rags. Saves the clothes I came here in, they were left behind as the shirts I would never wear. A word for my mindset, a huff. Peering across to the topic of last night's fervor, on the topic of grounding the identity. I have been gifted a soft plastic pen stamped with my current place of residence. I think back without a dread to a similar finding I made when I was a freshman in high school. Blue and soft to the touch, the scarcity of black lipstick lands now some distance from the care of my emotions. On the topic of the past, when last we approached it to consolidate a topic worthy of ink, some unfriendly guardian reared its head, and I disengaged from memory. Is the topic of memory on the topic of memory? Do we forget too easily, or are these files best thus left undisturbed in an unlocked cabinet marked "Do not read"? The words of a friend, "That girl is dead," a phrase once penned, "Get me in a fast car and don't look back." What is the risk to my person unearthing a history not my own? Our recent history by a then nameless soul, neither waif nor wraith. We took up residence in Evanstonville, promised shelter and care and repair for our fractured soul, but now dependent is our learning on our state. We were processing then chemicals that no longer soak our brains. Spared are the pains, or are the times shared stored in the souls we shared them with, and only by unlikely reunion could those times again be brought to life? The guardian huffs. Are we right to even pursue it? To say that what we learned there is either learned in permanence or burned with our regrets, then regrets we enumerate, and already we slip, for the worst foul uncalled fell from lips not our own to manipulate, and all that I had hold solid, some custom swears it be held in a sacred place, and we speak into the microphone only of orgasms. What an age we live in. But I accelerate through the mud to declare, commemorate, confide that I once awoke both within and beside a man lame in the left arm, just a bed away from my engagement with a man who expected his flesh to burn to the touch, and I cannot bury without at least ink for a eulogy the night I spent locked in with the mad brother, and curled against his straitjacket for warmth, or so he called it, though I could see none of the affixing that would or could have stilled his arms, believed the way the honest believe. I call some further attention to the calling of a man mad, only warding off the far-reaching voices of his mistaught physicians, mad to ignore them, more like. And where is my room in this earthly place that stakes and risks are always but never my own? And it's no wonder the men of the house called me only by sister so often. Speaking next to the mousekeeper, his small charge brought home on a late Christmas, an ache in him, old as his still solid bones, for how long he had longed for a warm-blooded creature to keep as his own. And their mutual caging brief, but it only takes days for a heart to grow stony, of loneliness. 4 men at once did we keep for their company, their warmth, for the bread they brought home, and of each I could only call love what occurred. On that first day I welcomed them into my world, but a fast infatuation turned quick into courtship with never a wedding intended. I'll ask about this one, I think, if I'm ever called forth to count my sins, but we traded warmth from blood to blood fully clothed, and I still know the color of their eyes. I wouldn't say I ever lied to them of my deepest intentions, but shallow the warmest ponds to bathe in. Country girl in a city world. We think back to the train downtown, and I refuse to get on. Turn to the future, we're torn to our past wrong, and a lie that a mind like ours was broken and needed a cast put on, like a pacemaker running too slow. If this infinite rhyme be my scar, then I'll proudly show it off. There's no crime in a rhyme, as a moronic ox says we're keeping the present, keeping records of the past to pass the time, but the present is still like a spacious tomb. Do I sing of the nurse people checking my room? I haven't disappeared on you. I ain't no superhero. Fantasy's not gifted to me. Blow in the trees, shake, call me the wind. Write that one home to the comic book men. Once in a while I take interest in what I'm listening into, but laws are in place and papers signs. All I have here to share feels like a fever in my mind that I can only cool off with a tall glass of wine. Then a coin toss. Is it Nora or Francis delivering the lines? I haven't got out much since this story came to life. Some kind of linguistic insider, F. Scott Fitzgerald's second wife, forbidden to do anything but write. Not that I'm complaining. This isn't a painful engagement. The word schizophrenia springs to mind. It's mild, like a mystery novel that pulls me from cover to cover, salad of words, a soup on the side. When our once-broken twin utters something like side effects of moderate isolation, compulsion to carry communication out. Marry the paper mags. We drew a few bodies into this trap, and they didn't look so good when we got them back out. As the dead and the dead, we swear never to part till we're alive again. You kiss my ass, you take a ride. He likes talking like a bad boy once in a while, but that's why I trust him. He's got nothing to hide behind. Frightened by the voices of the kind. Is it dinner time yet? Relatively speaking, saying as you'd swallow anything but semen. Speak not of heartbreak. Mend this stone if words were twine, this soul, this bone. Let's just pretend that it hurts to be whole. Think of the compliments we've been sold. Beautiful, unwanted, clever, and haunted. If only gold were just as cheap. I'd take a break in the sun from the 72-hour condemnation, even if I had to take it on a leash. But instead we get ballpoint pens and paper to spend, and make good art are the three mostly meaningless words that I've ever been saved by. It's better than playing some idiot's girlfriend than slaving away at the scraps of another man's crap. No tears left for the injustice of the day, furthest down the bench, last man to play. But perhaps we've been saved from a dangerous game, bound to the audience, earning our wages, assembling a sandwich on the world's brightest stages. Lend me some finality sweeter than rigor mortis setting in. There's no such thing, so dream of coffin nails and tarnished diamond rings. I hear spring comes early in Kentucky. Just don't count on God, man, or luck to get us there. We'll travel by foot, we'll eat wild hares, drink to tomorrow, think not on sorrow, teach your children to share. Sick to the marrow, flightless sparrow, son of a bull, why does it hurt to be whole? And that's where the poem ends. Right about there.